Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy, Football Talk. And today we got Madden 26 defense. Wait, let me read that again. Madden 26 Defense 101. How to play defense correctly. Now, I'm going to tell you guys why I am reacting to this one by Eric Rayweather. Original will be linked in the description down below, because your boy is okay with defense. Okay, after watching some of his other videos, I know Tampa 2 is like really a good baseline to go with, but there's still some things that I'm not really good with on defense. You know, when it comes to play calling, that's one of them. Two, I sometimes switch on to the wrong player at the wrong time, which I know a lot of people do that. So hopefully Eric Rayweather can help me with that, and also I can learn some other things I didn't know about. So yeah, I wanted to react to this because defense is not the strong suit of your boy, and I know for a lot of you guys I know for a large part of you guys out there that it's not your strong suit either. You know what I mean? We're offense over here, so let's see what defense got.
I've been playing Madden for many years, and if I knew then what I know now about defense, I would have won a lot more games. I'm going to give you everything you need to know quick, simple, no fluff, and you'll instantly get more stops on defense after watching this video. The first thing we have to do at the start of every game is set up our coaching adjustments. We do this by clicking the right analog stick in.
See, this is something that I did not know about until like he said in like a couple videos ago.
Part of playing defense is not giving up dumb stuff. That alone will help you win more games. So you want to make sure your auto flip defensive play call is on so that your defense matches the strength of the offense. You want your cornerback matchups on balance, simply because when you change this, sometimes it does cause things to bug out. You don't want to give up easy touchdowns or big plays because of that. Defensive motion response, you want this on default. Option read key, you want this on conservative. That way if they try to run a read option with a fast QB like Lamar, you will hit him in the backfield. Again, you don't want to give up stupid stuff. You don't want to let him get 20 plus yards on an easy read option run. You want to make your opponents work for yards. You don't want to give them easy stuff. Option pitch key, you want this on aggressive so that if they try to pitch it to the running back, your defense will focus on him and they should lose yards in that situation as well. Again, don't give them the easy stuff. RPO read and pass key, you want these on conservative because this will help you with RPO read options and RPO pass plays. This one isn't perfect, but it's better to have this on than off. And then we want to go down to our safety adjustments. We want our safety depth on close and our safety width on pinch. This just helps them get a little bit more in the box, so it makes them more balanced against the run, and it gets them lined up inside, so it helps against quick seam passes as well. Now, in terms of a playbook to start in, I think the Houston Texans is one of the best in the game. They're very balanced across the board.
All right, so my boy Darius Steen, hey,
you should start in, pick a nickel formation.
The Houston Texas defense, I think this is gonna be a breakout year for him. I mean, they signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson, which when he was with the Eagles, I mean, him and Slay, it was the best corner tandem in the NFL at the time. But you got the young Derek Stingley, Will Anderson coming off of an excellent year last year. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like Texas could make it far, especially in the playoffs. CJ Stroud, obviously. You got Dale coming back. You know, so my boy Joe Mixon. So they got all the pieces to be one of those top teams in the AFC, in my opinion.
That you like. I think nickel just has a lot of options. It's really balanced against the run and the pass, and it's what most people tend to use. Now for this video, we'll just use the nickel normal. It's a very balanced formation, and there's certain coverages you're going to want to use, which I'll get to in a minute. But the first thing you have to do is you want to set your coverage shell so that you can disguise your coverages. This is something that'll make your defense maybe 5 to 10% better. It's not massive, but those little 5 to 10%, they add up when you start doing everything I'm going to tell you about in this video. So to set your coverage shell, once you open up the formation, you can flick the right stick and you can see it was on default. Now it's cover 0. Now it's 2-man, and there's a bunch of different options. Cover 2 and cover 4 are really the only two that I would suggest that you use because it'll just keep your defense very balanced. I use cover 4 personally. And now no matter what we come out in, whether it's cover 2, 3, 4, man, a blitz, it's going to line up the same every time. And that's just one little thing that makes it harder for your opponent to get a read on what you're doing. Now, the other thing we want to do before we come out in a play typically is we want to set up our stunts. Now, you don't have to do this literally every single time. I do it on most plays because they are very effective at bringing pressure a good amount of the time without you having to send extra rushers. So we're going to first start in a cover 3. It doesn't matter which one. It could be cover 3 match, cover 3 sky, because we're going to be shading our coverage anyway. So it doesn't matter what type of.
That's why I used to choose a lot of times with cover 3 or cover 6.
You want to hold down the X button because that is the button of the play. We want to hold it down, and that's going to pull up our stunt menu. And then we want to go to the Texas 4-man. This is the best stunt in the game to bring pressure. Once we're on Texas 4-man, we will release the X button, and now we have called the play. Now, you could do this out of so many different formations. You don't have to do it in nickel. It could be in dime. It could be in the nickel single mug, which is a very popular formation. It could be out of the nickel double mug, another popular formation. In fact, I've broken some of those down on my Patreon membership, which I will link below. That's where I post all of my ebooks and my highest level strategies. We've got hundreds of members that have been winning a lot more games just by following the blueprints that I've laid out for them. I'll leave the link in the comment below. If you do sign up, make sure to use code 50OFF so that you can get 50% off of your membership. Now, once we're on the field with our cover 3, we always want to shade down, which is Y or triangle and then down on the right stick. That's how we're going to set up our cover 3. But notice both of our safeties are playing too high. Normally in a cover 3, this guy right here would kind of line up right here, and this guy would be over more like this. And that could be a tell that, hey, they're probably in a cover 3. But because we have our shells set to cover 4, they're going to line up like this, and that's what we want. So these few basic things I told you right here are going to get you more stops. Cover 3 shade down, Texas 4-man stunt, use a cover 4 shell. Very simple. Now, what's going to happen is why we like to do this is because a lot of people that you play, I'm sure you've seen it, they like to throw drags, they like to throw quick flats. Well, by shading this down, that's going to help us defend that.
I've definitely seen that.
Field, but we still have 3 deep,
which is something that I do too. So I like to get the ball out quick.
Back in the flat, look what happens. He's there. I mean, he broke the tackle,
damn.
but he would have got maybe 1 yard on that. So again, we'll shade down, try to throw to the flat, nothing there.
Takes away the quick pass.
Jump it for a pick. And really quickly, I did just want to say that if you are enjoying this, if you're finding it helpful, it would help the channel out a ton if you just subscribe and turn the bell icon on. And that way you'll be up to date with all of the best tips all year long to help you win more games. And now with this stunt setup, it's not going to come free every time, but you'll notice when you run this stunt, sometimes a guy will come free just instantly and hit the quarterback. Now, your responsibility on the play is you need to user one of these guys in the yellow zone. Now, usually I'm going to take the one on the side of the running back because if the running back happens to be running the ball, if it's a handoff, I want to like try to loop around here and help defend the run. And it's easier for me to kind of loop around this way and help get into the action. But otherwise, I need to stay over the middle because look, if somebody tries to run like a drag route, okay, I need to stay with that. That's my responsibility. Yep. And then you see, if you have good coverage on the field, the block shed gets there, you get home. But again, sometimes also the stunt will just come free as well. So you see, I'm using over the middle. I know what my responsibility is. I'm not leaving my responsibility. My responsibility is...
See, that's one thing about me. I'm always on the line.
And you don't need
maybe I think that's something I might need to change.
You just have to
going
stay
for, here on out.
Over the middle. Okay, I got it. That's me. That's me. That's me. Okay, and now the pressure's there. And they couldn't throw short because we took short.
Lockdown. Yeah, that's me.
Well, that's when the pressure gets in because deep takes longer to develop.
Look at this.
Now, another really great coverage to use this same.
Then you get holding penalties.
Cover 4. Now, there's different types of cover 4. There's cover 4 drop. There's cover 4 quarters, which is match. Again, we're going to shade this so it doesn't matter. But one that I think a lot of people struggle with, again, if you're not getting a lot of stops, try this cover 4 drop field in the Texans playbook out of the nickel over. It gives you 8 guys in coverage, so your pass rush is going to be a little weaker. Keep that in mind. But a lot of people struggle with this. Simply shade your defense down, and you can't really run your stunts on this play as well because we only have 3 guys rushing, so you really typically need a 4-man line to pull off the stunt. So with this play, your pass rush will be weaker. However, your coverage will be stronger because you have an extra coverage. Now we have 4 deep zones, and the great thing with cover 4 is that the safeties are in run fits, which means they will not immediately start dropping back. They will wait a split second and try to read if it's a run or a pass, and that makes them attack the run downfield a little bit quicker than other coverages. So this right here is really the best base coverage in the game. By shading it down, we're taking away anything short. It's going to be hard to go deep because we have 4 deep zones, and it's going to defend the run better than you would think because the safeties play run fits. And we do the same thing. We stay over the middle in our area. We're in our area. Okay, I'm going to try to throw it short. Look, he's there to defend it because we shaded down. You can't throw short. You can't throw over this short middle either because we're here. We're locking that up. And look, we're even actually getting pass rush right now, which again, don't always expect that when you're just using a 3 down lineman rush.
I mean, but Hunter, he's an absolute unit.
You can't throw short. You got to wait to throw deep. I mean, we're actually getting great pass rush. And you
Damn.
Everything is covered. And if they
he ain't got nobody. Cameron run the ball. Damn.
I'm telling you right now, if you're struggling on defense, run this cover 4, shade it down, and just all I'm asking you to do is just user this, 5 or so yards of space. Just stay here. If a drag or a slant comes into your area, just get in front of it. If you do that, this right here alone, you'll win probably half of your games, at least on the defensive side of the ball, running this. A lot of people you will go up against will struggle with just this simple base coverage. All you got to do is stay here and also attack the run. Now, the other coverage you want to look at is a cover 2 or a Tampa 2. And again, with this, we're going to hold the button down. We're going to use our Texas 4-man stunt when we run this. This one, we don't do any shading. We leave this alone. This one, they will be able to dink and dunk a little bit in the flats. We'll give them 5 or 6 yards on this. You have to know what you're doing when you come out in a certain play. This is sometimes what I'll come out in a little bit earlier in the game and kind of see how they play. And if I see they keep kind of going to the flats a little bit, they're going underneath, then I go to cover 4 or cover 3 and I shade it down and they're expecting it to be open, and that's where you get interceptions. That's where you get big stops on big downs. But this is just more of like an intermediate to deep defense. The really main way to beat this is to dink and dunk it, or they got to try to fit a pass in between where the safety
in a
is
tight window
out here. They got to fit that in on the sideline.
Oh, I see it.
Pass for most players.
It is.
Make it tough on your opponent. So we're gonna either make them, dink and dunk us. Like, okay, we'll throw it right here and pick up a few yards. Hit them with a hit stick. That's what a Tampa 2 is meant to do. Make them.
Now, like he said, with the Tampa 2, a lot of people are not patient enough on offense. So this kind of kills the momentum that they want to have. They want to go deep, so it takes that away from them. It makes them have to work for every single yard. Like, you gotta go the whole field to beat me, But the ones that are patient, they can definitely kill this and get you out of this, but they have to be really patient, and it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take them little 4 yards, them little 5 yards, I've said this, that it's okay to throw them little 4 and 5 yards, but when you're in a situation where you need points, that's where it can bite you in the ass, When you need that over the middle shot down the field with Justin Jefferson or something like that, when you need those and they're playing this is what's stopping you from having bomb touchdowns. Okay? This is what's stopping it. As Tyreek Hill.
Rally down. But it's going to be a lot harder for them.
Kansas City Chiefs, man.
Deeper shots, and then
during the pandemic.
Sometimes your pressure is just going to come in quick. So between the cover 2, the cover 3, and the cover 4, you're going to be good to go. Now, if you do have good man-to-man corners, cover 2 man also can be very viable this year. With this, I do like to press, which is wire triangle down on the left stick. I didn't set up my stunts on this play because I forgot, but you would set up your stunts on this. Again, you don't have to do it every play, but it's pretty good too. And then here, you either use the running back and you take him if he goes out, or if they keep him in the block, you just stay over the middle and kind of do the same thing you were doing before. Just kind of defend this little middle of the field. So say running back's going out, I got to take the running back here, and you can see everything was pretty locked up on the play and we got pressure. But the one thing that this is a little more vulnerable to is, if somebody is sending somebody over the middle and you have to run out of here to take the running back, sometimes a guy might beat their man, right? Like, that was pretty good coverage, but he still caught it. But that's kind of the thing with cover 2 man. It can be beat a little bit badly if a receiver just gets a good release or has really good route running. So it's something to be mindful of, but I do like mixing in man coverage from time to time because it is pretty good this year. I just don't like to live in it every single play. Now, when you want to dial up a blitz as a beginner, typically you just want to use a man blitz that has 6 players rushing. So, for example, this play here over Storm Brave, you can see we've got 6 red arrows.
I use this
6 people are rushing.
Like when it's like third and 5, like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. I use blitzes.
In the game, obviously, you've got a lot of possibilities of getting beat on this because it's a cover 0 blitz. But
that is true.
Get in every once in a while. I mean,
but look at this right here.
Pretty quick, and then you just use the running back. but it's not something you could run every single play unless you're really, really good with your user or making advanced adjustments, because people will set up a route combo to beat it. But if you're just mixing it in, that's how you want to blitz. You want to just have 6 people rushing, because most people aren't going to block their running back. That means you're going to have a free rusher. However, for the sake of keeping everything consistent in our nickel over formation, which is what we've been working out before, I'd probably use something like Overstorm Brave. That's because if I switch formations, that can be a tell to my opponent that I'm doing something different. So in this case, I'm going to have to use the guy on the running back, which is the safety. But again, you're going to see somebody is going to come in free pretty quickly because somebody is unaccounted for. So if I've been hitting them with coverage all game long, cover 4, cover 2, cover 3, they're probably sending their running back out, because especially if I've been dropping 8 guys in coverage with that cover 4, they're not leaving their running back in the block, because they need all the passing options out there that they can possibly have. And that's when you sneak in a blitz, because they're not expecting it. They're expecting to have a little bit more time to pass because you haven't been doing that, and then boom, free rusher. Now
Sorry
let's
for hitting the
quickly
mic.
talk about adjustments. Now, I'm not going to recommend that you do a whole lot of adjustments if you're more of a beginner. Everything I've showed you so far is basically
Sorry for hitting the mic again.
set up your stunts and just simply shade your defense down is going to be your best bet. But there are a lot of adjustments you can make, and if you start to become more comfortable with these and you get faster at practicing this stuff, you can start mixing other things in. So for your defensive line, for example, if you want to adjust them, you go left on the D-pad, and then you see in the bottom left corner, there's a lot of options. If I want to spread them, I go up on the left stick. If I want to pinch them, I go down on the left stick. Pinching them can sometimes be useful if you're a little bit worried about the run. If you're in shotgun, most of the runs are going to go up the middle, so pinching the D-line can actually help you there. However, if you're running stunts, typically you don't want to pinch your D-line when you're doing a stunt. And if anything, you actually want to spread your D-line when you're stunting. That is an extra step that you can use with any of these plays that I've showed you. Spreading your D-line with the Texas 4-man does make that stunt quite a bit better. But as a beginner, if you don't feel like you have enough time to do that, then don't worry about it till you get a little bit better. But if you're just really worried about the run, you can always pinch. You can crash the line down or to the right or to the left. You just go left on the D-pad and you look at the options. Your left analog stick is going to be to spread them or shift them. Your right analog stick is going to be to slant them inside, left, right, or outside. And then for your linebackers, you can go right on the D-pad. That brings up linebacker adjustments. So if you could see here on the left stick, you can shift them left, you could shift them right. Again, I don't usually do stuff like this. I kind of want everything just base how it comes out, because I want my defense to look kind of the same every play. But you can move your guys around. And on the right stick, you can see you can zone them all out. You can blitz one of them, you can blitz all of them, like that. So like if at any given time, let me reset the defense here. At any given time, if I'm like, you know what, I want to send a blitz on this play, I want to send 6 people at them, I can go right on the D-pad, down on the right stick, and look, now both of my linebackers are blitzing. Now, yeah, the middle of the field is wide open, right? So, stuff's going to be open now, but I'm going to still get a free rusher because they're not blocking anybody. So like at any play, you can send a 6-man blitz. Just be mindful that you're going to make your defense more vulnerable in other areas by doing that. If I want to adjust my secondary, I can press the Y or triangle button. I can back them up, give cushion, go up on the left stick. I can press them down on the left stick. Don't really recommend pressing unless you're doing like a cover 2 man though, because this could get beat over the top. So you don't really want to do that too much. And again, you can actually shade your defense, which we already know. We press Y or triangle and down to shade underneath, right? We do that on all of our zone plays except for cover 2. But you can also shade them over the top, inside, outside. I don't really mess with that too much, but those are options that you can do. Now, there is one important adjustment that you need to know how to do, and that is how to stop mobile quarterbacks. So, obviously, Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback right here, but if we were dealing with a Lamar Jackson, for example,
for one, always have a QB spy.
Which is the RB or R1.
Contain. 2, always have a QB spy.
Put your outside edge rushers in contain. Now, this doesn't always work, but it does a decent job at keeping them in the pocket and not allowing them to...
I feel like it does a better job than it did last year.
One good way to beat those stunts to the inside is scrambling. So if you're playing Lamar or Kyler Murray or somebody like that, and they're scrambling a lot, you might not want to use stunts. You might want to instead put contains on your play, because you want to make sure that he stays in the pocket. Again, a lot about playing defense is not giving up stupid stuff. You don't want to give up a scramble every play. So if you're playing a fast QB, you switch your game plan a little bit. Say, you know what, I'm not going to use stunts, I'm going to use contains instead. Another option is to use a QB spy. So you could take a guy that's, preferably fast, take one of your linebackers, you can press the A or X button on him, depending on your system, and then you've got a bunch of options. You can see here, I could man him up, I could blitz him, I could put him in a hard flat, I could put him in a middle third, but I want to put him in a spy, which is left on the right stick. This means he will follow the QB wherever he goes. So I'm gonna actually just try to roll out here with Aaron Rodgers. Just, it's gonna be funny, but just notice. You see how he follows me? So I can't go anywhere because he's following me. His whole
Aaron too
responsibility
damn
is to
old.
follow the
He
QB.
can be taking them hits like that.
So that's a couple ways that you can stop a mobile
He
quarterback.
one hit away from
You might have to
just
do if you're
walking off the
facing those guys.
field.
Otherwise, if you're facing guys that are just moderate speed or, pocket QBs, all you gotta do is come out in your stunts, shade your defense down in your cover 3, cover 4, play Tampa 2, mix in man, mix in a blitz, and you will get a lot more stops. And again, you just have to worry about your area of the field. If you can do this, you can take away the route they want to throw. Because the thing with usering is that if I'm on the D line, I could probably throw a slant or a drag right here every play. I mean, he might come down and hit me. I dropped it. That's fine. But, I'm going to be able to throw this every play. Throw a
Okay.
drag. All right. Even if I got tackled, it would have been
Yep.
5 yards. I can get 5
Okay,
yards.
so be on one of them
Because
linebackers.
if I could take away that, I'm here. They can't throw it. Or if they do, I'm going to intercept it. Whereas now I'm back on the D line and now I'm not here. And now I'm picking up yards. That is the difference between usering. I'm not saying you got to be crazy with it, but you got to take away that first read. Now, what about if they're
Take
under
away the
center?
first
That's a good
read,
question.
okay.
We're going to go back to our nickel over, and we're going to go back to that cover 4 drop that I told you about. Remember, it's a good balanced formation against the run and the pass. We have our safety depth set up and our coaching adjustments, so you can see our safeties are lined up inside nice and tight. We have our coverage shells on. We're going to shade down, which is wire triangle down on the right stick. And we're here. Now, if they're under center, what I like to do against under center is I actually want to user a lot of times the safety that's on the weak side of the formation. So typically, the weak side of the formation is the side with the less players. So we can see the right is clearly the strong side. It's where the tight end is. There's a fullback over there. So we want to use the weak side safety because if we bring him down in this box, this look right here, this is hard to run. This safety is in a run fit, so he's going to read run. We've got a lot of guys in the box. We've got them shaded down, so if they do pass, a lot of times people try to do like a play action and throw a quick pass to the flat. There's not a lot of places they can throw, and if they run it, we just got to get in here and help muddy this up. I mean, there's not a lot of place for him to go. Now, he got 5 yards there. That's fine. You're not going to kill the run every single play, but I guarantee you run this.
I mean, Warren is a tough one to bring down, but look at that right there. Look at all them bodies.
You can really stop the run with your user, but you don't have to do a lot. You just have to kind of follow the running back or just go through the open hole, and you can see, it's clogging up pretty quickly here. And again, maybe you want to pinch your D-line like I told you. You can go left on the D-pad, down on the left stick. Use some of your adjustments. Pinch the D-line. That also could help. Just look at this. We are all over that. He's falling forward. He's having to truck forward and get a good animation here, but otherwise, we're all over this. And if they pass the ball, we've got adequate coverage on the field. They're not going anywhere. Now, sure, if you see them passing, okay, you got to get back into coverage now. You got to get where you
Facts. You got to be quick.
And then, okay, there comes the pressure. You got 8 guys in coverage. You should be okay.
Alrighty, this was another good one by Eric Rayweather. Shout out to him. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I do play Madden again, hey, lockdown, yeah, that's me. You better be ready to hear that. Especially if I'm playing online, which I'm not an online player, but if I do play online, you gonna hear a lot of that. And on the other end, you gonna hear a lot of smash controllers. TV might be broken, a lot of cussing, and yeah, that's what you can expect on the other end. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. Love you guys, and see you guys in the next one.